ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
Assalamu alaikum. In this lesson, we will be covering Mad Iwadh. Our learning objectives are: number 1, to be able to define Mad Iwadh. Number 2, to know the conditions to apply Mad Iwadh. Number 3, to be able to identify Mad Iwadh in the Quran. And finally, to know the exception of Mad Iwadh. So what does Mad Iwadh mean? It means substitute elongation. It occurs when a fatatayn is substituted with an elongated alif when stopping on that word. So we have the example here, akala lamma. When we are stopping, we will basically remove one of the fatah and the lamman will be read as lamma. What are the conditions with Mad Iwadh? Well, this will only apply when we are stopping with a fatatayn, not a dammatayn and not a kasratayn. So if we look at the example here, we have the word fiha abadan. Now we have the sili sign, which means we have a choice to continue with the recitation or we can stop on this word. So number 1, if we decide to stop, we will read it خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه, which means we have applied the rule of Mad Iwadh. If we decide not to stop, then we will continue and read خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه, which means we have not applied Mad Iwadh rule. Now, when we are stopping with dammatayn or kasratayn, with the following examples, number 1, we can see with the word qadirun, we have put a sukoon. So we remove the dammatayn and we put a sakoon, so it will be read as وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ, not qadirun. If we look at the example below, the second example, we have the word in antum illa fi dalalin kabirin. When we are stopping, we will remove the kasratayn and we will replace it with sukoon. So it would be read in antum illa fi dalalin kabir. So let's have a look at some examples together. The first example we have is وَتُحِبُّونَ الْمَالَ حُبًّا جَمًّا. Now we have two examples, حُبًّا and جَمًّا. We are not applying the Mad Iwadh for the first one as we are continuing with the recitation. So we say حُبًّا. But with the second one, because we are stopping, we will apply the Mad Iwadh rule, which means we will take off one of the fatas and we will read it as hubban jamma. And let's look at another example. We have the same situation where we have two fatatains following each other. Akalal lamma. So the first one you can see, because we are continuing with the recitation, we do not apply the Mad Iwadh, so we read it as akalal. But for the second, because we are stopping, we will take off one of the fatas and we will replace it with a Mad Iwadh rule. So lamma, akalal lamma. Now there is an exception to this rule when the word has the ta marbuta at the end. So if a ta marbuta has a fatatayn and we want to stop at the ta marbuta, we will firstly change it to a ha sound, and secondly the fatatayn will change into a sukoon. So looking at the following example, we have irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyatan. Now, what we will do firstly is we will take off the two dots of the ta marbuta, which makes it into a ha, and then that ha will have a sukoon. So we will read it as mardiyah, not mardiyatan. So what have we learned in this lesson? We are able to define mad iwad. We know the conditions to apply mad iwad. We are able to identify mad iwad in the Quran. And we know the exception of mad iwad. Hope you have benefited from this lesson. Keep seeking knowledge. Ma'as salama.